Hey everybody. Right, just a quick thing here on some new eBay purchases. I picked these up for a bit of a saving compared to what they would have all cost to buy them out of their boxes. So we've got like a tactical squad here, and you can see they've been built and even based, and someone's basically come along and resprayed the whole thing grey with some sort of primer thing to make them look like they're the original plastic type thing, so you can see it's part of the original basing coming in. But that's alright, because I decorate with a real messy sort of like gravelly future earth sort of thing, so it's going to end up grey. So I'm going to be going over that pretty heavily. But and we've got like a few devastators as well with the tacticals. And one thing became very apparent when I opened them up out of their bubble wrap pieces. And that was that nearly all the plastics, all but one, had survived the transit to me in the pack just fine. I mean, plastics. And only one plastic had any sort of casualty, and it was a very simple one. It was just simply model come off base. So that's easily reattached, and that's it. I mean, everything's still, integrally here together. And the beautiful thing about plastics is that they don't fall apart. You can abuse them, okay? And the other ones that have got breaks in, you'll notice it's always bloody metals. So we have here like a metal arm bit and a metal gun bit, and these things usually happen from incompatibilities. So then we've got like a metal backpack and like a plastic body, and so they expect you to try and stick. And this is like old GW. And for years they expected you to do this. Top heavy things to plastic, like that sort of thing. And, think it's not going to, like, fall off. It's all very well pinning it and that, but there's still extra bother compared to just going in with plastic and going glue and done. Why do you want to have to spend longer doing it? What, you haven't got stuff to do? You're a boring person? Do you know what I mean? You don't have a life? I wouldn't mind just sticking my models together and actually getting on with other things and actually, getting to paint them, rather than sort of, when I'd have got a load of painting done, still be trying to stick them together. Here, this problem's caused by the fact that, again, part metals, right? Mostly plastic mini, but then we get a metal backpack. And, I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it, for a heavy weapons choice guy there. I mean, you see, that's the thing that's broke off. And again, the most ridiculous is this one with the las cannon, because we can see it's the bottom legs of a tactical, but then the whole top is metal. And the weight difference is just incredible. And I mean, if you even try positioning that there, you can see that it is just so top heavy, and trying to actually get this to dry to have stuck it in the first place would be hell. So, screw you to the old metals way of doing things. But what I do want to say for the future now is that what Games Workshop are doing with introducing plastics only range, boy, they've won me over on that alone. Because, if they as a company now have adopted full plastics all over for their whole of their range, for just everything now, even blisters, then that's going to be like a dream come true for me. And their plastics are easier to stick than some of the plastics of other companies too, unfortunately. And even stuff that, was fine cast, as they made the metal stuff fine cast, that was only a stopgap. This was apparently always the intent. And I've got an example here. This is a HQ blister. This is what you will now find as a blister. I mean, the new Dwarf releases, for example, they all come out in plastic blisters like this. And you can see this is 100% plastic. Wow. I mean, isn't that just... That's really mind-blowing. And this is what I wished for years and years and years, and it just didn't happen. So obviously I've picked these guys up. And, you know, it's metals. I'll try and work with it. But I just hate it. So, you know, good riddance to the metals, I say. And I know people say, oh, I prefer the metals, it's nice to have a bit of weight to it. But it's not, because you've got bloody mismatched weight as well. And very often because they try and stick it to plastic. Or, you know, how nice is it when your things fall apart and they say, oh, just drill it. Well, you know, plastic now is so accurate in its moulding. The sheer accuracy they get for these new plastics, what they can now do with plastic, far outclasses what they were doing with metal. Forget about the difference in fine cast. So, Games Workshop, going all plastic, oh god, you know, they cost more, but boy, they're doing the right thing. And it's like, I got really annoyed with Malifaux, because, you know, I'd had so many problems with trying to make my Malifaux Neverborn crew, and that was all like metal, and then suddenly they give the big announcement, oh, we're releasing in a really good quality plastic, and I just sighed, because it was so annoying that I realised, you know, me and everyone else who hates working with metal around me, that's the main reason we didn't play Malifaux properly all the way through. That's the main reason, because, you know, it was metal, and trying to sculpt some of those ideas with really heavy pieces like that just wasn't going to be practical. I mean, the way you had to try and get those cowboy types, for instance, for my friend Laurie, trying to jump off one of the coffin things, ridiculous as metals, ridiculous. So they've gone plastic, and then I say, well, I've already spent all my money on the metals now, tar. So anything like that gets me really heated and annoyed, and anything plastic gets me the opposite. So right now I'm all gooey and happy and in a very good place with Games Workshop, even though they're in stupid, crazy prices. You know, if they can bring the prices down and keep it plastic, then, you know, we're going to have an enduring love affair. And there it is.